Hi there guys, Adam here. I've had a few new pedal days and a new amp day and stuff in the past couple of months, so I thought I've got a few hours, so I thought I'd put together my new rig. Yeah, I thought maybe as I'm doing this video, maybe it'll answer a few questions on signal path and how I like to run my board and that kind of thing. So yeah, let's get started. So a list of ingredients. Let's go through all the pedals because quite a few of these actually are new. You probably won't have seen them on my board before. Start off first in the chain is going to be the Clinch FX EP Pre. If you check out the Dirtbox TV, dirtbox.net or youtube.com/dirtbox.net, new episode of Dirtbox TV, which is coming in a few days, will be all about this pedal, explaining what that is. And then we're going to go into the Boss TU3 chromatic tuner, and then into my Crybaby wah, which I modified myself. And then we've got a selection of a couple of dirt boxes here. Got the Valvet custom drive for kind of lower gain goodness. There's the dog going wild thinking someone's at the door. The Bob Burt overdrive, as you know, massive fan of this pedal for kind of an extra amp channel almost, me tube screamery type sounds. And then this new one, the Bob Burt Great Distortion, or Bob Burt Multi-Drive. It's sort of both of the same thing, or multi-distortion, can you believe that? Yeah, so Great Distortion, multi-drive, or multi-distortion. It's like an 8-channel distortion box. It sounds really, really awesome. I prefer the sound of this over my amp for kind of that 70s Marshall sound, and it also does high gain well as well, but I'm more interested in the kind of 70s Marshall sound through that pedal. Great distortion pedal. First ever distortion pedal, I think that'll be on my board. And we've also got the Arion SCH1 stereo chorus for wide chorus sounds. I am waiting actually on an SCHZ coming in so I can compare the two. Perhaps use one for Leslie's, one for chorus. Then the faithful T-Rex Tremster, which I've had 6 months or so now. I just use it for a subtle kind of vibrato-esque type sound, old amp tremolo sound. And then in the effects loop, I've ditched the rack. I actually sold that to a friend of mine who's really enjoying it. We'll be going with a TC Electronics Nova repeater, which I got in the trade of a good friend of mine as well. That's a really great, really versatile, but also quite simple to use delay pedal. And then for reverb, we're going with this new Bob Burt reverb. This is the first one in the UK serial 001. And this one is mine, and it is absolutely awesome. Also, we've got plenty of Velcro. The board is carpeted, so it saves on using the soft side of Velcro for that. And I've also got these wood chocks that I've actually just cut today. I went to B&Q and bought a block of wood. Cut these wood chocks so that I can attach these to the bottom of pedals like so, and just rise them up a bit on the back tier so that I'm not stomping on the front ones like such. It just makes it a lot easier, just a lot better access a step tier. Okay, so what I'm going to do is cover these in Velcro, get them up and running, and then I'll put the video back on. So it's getting progressively messier and messier. Okay, so I've made 6 of these. I've got plenty of wood and stuff to make more. Really simple, just a block of wood. Just measured kind of to size. The carpety side Velcro on one and the hard side Velcro on the other. And you just push it on. That's stuck there. And then push the pedal on. That's stuck there, and it's just a way of rising the pedal up, you know. I mean, there's you can get kind of pre-made ones out of plastic, or I think you can actually get wooden ones that have been spray painted black and everything. But I don't really have the money, and I'm a fan of DIY, even though I'm very, very poor at it. But so I made those. Everything's going to be powered by the Voodoo Lab Pedal Power 2 Plus that I've had for years, and it's done me well because everything runs at 9 volts. Except for the TC Electronic, which runs at 12 volt. But that's not a problem because this can also put out 12 volts. Yeah, so a bit about the actual signal cables. These are cables I got a while ago on the recommendation of a friend of mine. I haven't seen them since, and I've forgotten the name of them. But I think they were only around £4 or £5 each, so they're not like mega boutique things or anything. I have toyed with the idea of making my own cables and everything, but to be honest, I can't really be bothered. I did make my own guitar leads and everything at one point, but I just thought there's people out there that can do it so much better than me in such a quicker time. What's the point? So I just ordered a preset, just ordered several packets of these preset things. They're about £5 each. I must have spent like probably 80 quid in total or something like that. Power cables, again, same thing. Half of these actually came with the Voodoo Labs pedal supply years ago. Haven't failed us. Okay, so here's the rough layout of where I want things. It'll probably get tweaked a little bit. This probably isn't the best camera angle to kind of see what's going on here. But yeah, basically the back row is all, they're all lifted up by those wood chocks I put under, just to make it a little easier. Like I was saying, you can press there easily without damaging the pedals in front, etc. It's a little bit more accessible. Now obviously this probably isn't the most bomb-proof rig you'll ever see. It's a hack job, it's a DIY job, you know what I mean? Everything here is DIY. I'm not going to tour the world with it. I rarely play out so much nowadays, but when I do, I've never had any problems just taking this along with a cover. No problem in the back of a car, etc. But if I was doing any heavy touring or anything, which I do hope to get into in the future, then I would definitely be investing in a kind of flight case pedal board, or even a flight case for this system, for this design. But yeah, for now I don't need to worry about that too much. Yeah, so there's quite a, it's by no means a massive pedal board, but there's quite a lot on it. And that's because I have sort of two really main styles of music. One, most of these pedals are used for my new sort of blues, rock, funk, jazz, fusion-y project that I've got going on with a band. Every single pedal gets used with that. And then for the progressive stuff, it's a lot simpler. I'll probably again use all of these pedals, but rarely, you know what I mean? There's 3 or 4 that I use more regularly, but I didn't want the hassle of having 2 boards or duplicate pedals and having to swap over or anything like that. So it's all on one place, all on one board. But like I say, for the Fusiony project, I do use all of these in different ways. Okay, so yeah, that's it. I'm going to start wiring up, and then I'll come back to you. Okay, it's now sort of very roughly wired up. Everything's in the right order. Got everything powered just. Now for the next task, musician's best friend, apparently, guitar player's best friend. Zip ties, cable ties, pliers, wire snippers, and I've also got some adhesive bases. So let's get making this thing neat and functional. Times like this, I wish I had skinny fingers. Yeah, so I just zip tie just to keep them kind of neat. Really, it's purely just for visual, cosmetic, aesthetic preferences. Just sort of a lot of messy cables. Sort of winds us up a little. I mean, it doesn't have to be mega neat, I'm not that anal, but just neat enough. All more or less done. I actually can't find me proper wire cutters, which is a bit of a nightmare. I'll find them later though, I'm sure. Basically just zip tie cables together just to keep them nice and neat. Yeah, so as I explained, very simple. Chosen signal order into the EP pre in here. It's almost always on, because I like the sound of that, almost always on. Then into the TU3 chromatic tuner, then into my modified Crybaby. Rarely gets used, but I think I would miss the war if it wasn't there, especially with the funk stuff and the bluesy stuff. And then into the Valvette custom drive, lowest gain overdrive, and then into the Bob Burt overdrive, tube screamer based, quite a high gain drive. And then finally into the Bob Burt great distortion slash multi-drive slash multi-distortion, which is my highest gain box. And then out into the Arion SCH1 stereo chorus, and then finally into the T-Rex Tremster Tremolo, and then that goes out into the front of the amp. And then we come from the effects loop into the TC Electronics RPT1 Nova repeater, and then the Bob Burt reverb pedal, and then back out from into the effects loop and back into the amp, into the power amp, and then through into the speakers. Don't know if safe at that angle, a little pick and slide tin. I never use slide, don't know why I've got one in there. And yeah, as I said, all powered off the Voodoo Lab Pedal Power 2 Plus. I might need to get a different bit of wood or something for this to sit on. It's just a little bit uncomfortably, yeah, not quite settled, but like I say, okay for in-house use. I might get a proper mountain bracket or something for that. But yeah, I hope you found this useful or interesting, or just a good way to kill 10 minutes. I'll be doing a pedalboard rig demo, sounds demo and everything of all these pedals and everything, how I use them again in the near future. Okay, take it easy guys.